Hello, and welcome to my 5-minute Naoya Zenin deck breakdown. This card is an altered version of Noctis, Heir Apparent, that I made using Card Conjurer. For folks who haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen, this is Naoya Zenin. He's the misogynistic, knife-wielding head of the Zenin clan's group of elite sorcerers, the Hei. To claim his rightful position as head, he exhibits the powerful curse technique passed down to him by his father, Projection Sorcery. Projection Sorcery is a bit hard to describe. Make sure you all pay attention. This ability turns 1 second into 24 frames of animation, visualized through the user's eye as the field of view. Once the user visualizes the animation path in his mind, he can execute it at that speed seemingly instantaneously. Practically, this ability makes Naoya really fast. As you can see from these clips, if an opponent tries to stop Naoya but isn't moving as quickly as 24 frames per second, they will be frozen in a frame. Frozen frames can be attacked for massive damage. Before we move on to the next section, if you like anime deck breakdowns and want me to think up of possible interpretations of your favorite characters, please comment, like, and subscribe. I had a really hard time trying to think up the right commander and deck for Naoya Zenin. Projection Sorcery is a speed-based ability, so you think that commanders with haste, first strike, or double strike would be obvious. But even though there are plenty of commanders with these abilities, they thematically don't fit the afterimage untouchable power fantasy. There were a few commanders I was considering for this build. Ryu Storm's Edge is a Boro samurai with first strike who can add an additional combat phase if it attacks. I was thinking about making multiple copies of Ryu to simulate the Naoya afterimages when he's using Projection Sorcery. Unfortunately, after testing and tweaking this deck for hours, the speediest infinite combat phase win I had happened on turn 12. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. Squall Gunblade Duelist was another attempt. Also has first strike, which is good. When he enters, we get to choose a number, which is sort of similar to how Projection user draws out his path before committing to that movement. But his secondary ability is just not thematic. Shooting a gun at a defending player anytime they get attacked by a creature with that number, it doesn't make sense for Naoya, and it's too slow. So after much deliberation, I settled on Noctis, Heir Apparent. This 2/3 Esper Noble has two amazing abilities that leapt out at me when I scrolled through Scryfall. The first one allows any creature to equip a target equipment if it entered during combat for free. The second, more important ability, and the best representation of Projection Sorcery in Magic the Gathering, allows us to pay 3 to exile Noctis, returning it to the battlefield attacking during my next declared attacker step. This attack can't be blocked. Our goal for this deck is to make Naoya the fastest card alive by looping Projection Sorcery over and over again. The way we do this is through a singular equipment card, Dowsing Dagger. Dowsing Dagger is a 2-mana knife which creates 0/2 plant creature tokens for my opponent when it enters the battlefield. This is a major downside normally for a Voltron strategy, as giving my opponents blockers who slow down by lethal swings. However, Naoya synergizes extremely well with Dowsing Dagger, as his Projection Sorcery lets him enter, equip the dagger without paying the 2 mana, and swing through the plant defenders as he can't be blocked. Now, when we deal combat damage to a player with DD, it transforms into the Lost Veil, a singular land that can generate us 3 mana when tapped. With one swing of a Noctis-wielding Dowsing Dagger, we can immediately tap Lost Veil for 3 mana, casting Projection Sorcery again on Naoya's next turn. When Naoya returns to the battlefield, he can only equip 1 card at a time, but cards such as Brass Squire and Leonin Shikari can allow us to equip more powerful knives to him at instant speed. Another cool way to get multiple weapons onto Naoya is by exploiting the first part of his ability. Grand Crescendo is an instant that can create a number of citizen tokens while also making our creatures indestructible. We can cast Grand Crescendo during the combat phase when Naoya reappears in order to attach equipments equal to the number of citizens that had entered. So, do you think this deck captured the essence of Naoya? Are there any cards you think would be better suited to make this deck work more effectively? Let me know. Also, thank you for watching this video. What should the next anime be that I cover? Let me know in the comments. Stay tuned, more to come.